Hey there, it's Athena Shack, and welcome back to The Publishing Boss. All right, so today I want to discuss something that I see quite often. Okay, this is when authors will go through the painstaking of writing and publishing a book, but not promoting or marketing that book. All right, I see it all the time. Research has shown that self-published books average about 150 to 200 book sales for its lifetime. For its lifetime. Okay, this means that is the total number of books that you've sold in the number of years that the book has been available. Okay, um this is quite sad. It really is, and there's a number of reasons. Look, not every book that's published is a good book. Not every book that has been published is a book that should have been written. Okay, but there's some of you who have written great books. You've written great books, and you're just not promoting them. All right, and then sometimes you could have a great book with a not so great cover. Okay, and you're not reaching your intended audience. Sometimes you can have a great cover, but that book description in Amazon or on your back cover, it's off. The copy is off. It's not captivating. It doesn't say what the book is truly about. It doesn't share kind of who the book is for. Okay, or maybe it is a combination of all of those things. Okay, today we're going to talk about 10 reasons that I've seen in my years of publishing, why authors are not promoting their published book. Okay, and a lot of it has to do with you hiding. You're hiding. You are hiding, and you're hiding for a number of reasons, but let's just get right to it. Okay, reason number one, you are afraid of rejection. I put this on the top of the list. Okay, and I promise you these are not in order of importance or what have you, but this is major. The number one reason you're not promoting your book is you are afraid of rejection. And you're afraid of rejection. It's usually from not the people who don't know you, but the people who know you. Your sphere of influence, your family, your friends. Okay, you're not promoting your book, and you don't even want to be visible to them. You don't even want them sometimes to even know you wrote a book. Why? Because you're afraid of rejection. You're afraid that they're not going to get behind you. And the truth of the matter is you didn't write your book for them anyway. Okay, you wrote your book for a particular audience. Okay, but the reality is many of us go through that there is vulnerability in writing and promoting and publishing a book. All right, so that fear of rejection, it's 100% valid. It is 100% valid. But if you are going to get beyond that hurdle, you have to change your mindset. It's a major mindset shift that only you can do. Only you can say, you know what? I wrote a book, doggone it. It's a good book, and I'm going to promote that book. You know, you gotta challenge yourself to get beyond that fear of rejection and remember who you wrote your book for and go out there and become visible. Okay? One of the first pieces of valuable information that I received when I embarked on this journey for entrepreneurship when it came to publishing was that I had to stop. It wasn't even personal to me, but I took it personal. All right. And that was to stop hiding. Stop hiding behind your book. Stop hiding behind your business. Okay. People buy people. People buy experiences. Okay. You have to be the champion, the voice, the confident voice of your book and of your business so that people will see the value in investing in you and investing in your book. Okay, so we got to kick rejection's butt in the tail and go ahead and do it afraid. Okay, next, you're not comfortable with self-promotion. Major. It happens all the time. I see it all the time. That was me. I don't like self-promotion at all. Okay. And this is something that a lot of self-published authors fall in that category, not liking self-promotion. And you could be shy, you could be an introvert, or you can just not be a person who likes to be in front of the cameras. You're a behind the scene person. I get it. Here's the thing. You're going to hear me say this quite often. It's not about you. It's about your reader. So here's what you do, and here's your focus. Okay. And it's something that I had to do, an exercise I had to do as well. Anytime I got in my feelings about feeling, not wanting to feel like I'm self promoting and I'm being boastful and it was about me, I zoomed in on my reader and who I wrote the book for. I wrote the book, okay, to provide a solution to an audience who needed that solution. My book was the answer to their problem. My book was the answer on how to navigate grief after tragedy, trauma, okay? I had answers. So when you think about your reader and the answers and the solutions and the entertainment or what have you that you're bringing to your audience, that's what you focus on. And when you focus on reaching them, okay, when you focus on them and not you, you'll get it done. It will. You have to change your thinking, change the mindset. Okay, it's not about you. You're not promoting yourself. You're promoting an answer. Okay, you're not promoting yourself. You're providing a solution. Okay, you're not making this about yourself. You're making it about entertaining value of whatever it is that you wrote your book for. Okay, it's not about you. Okay, you don't have to make it about you to promote your book. You make it about your reader. Okay. All right, next. This is a sad one, but I see this all the time. I saw this in the beginning of my business when I first started. I started my business doing redesigns. Okay. Why? Because there are some people who don't promote their book. There's some authors who don't promote their book because they are not proud of their book. Okay. Quote, heard this month. Okay. They're looking to redo their book because they just weren't proud of their book. Okay. And listen, when you get started, and especially if people who started a while ago, when we didn't have access to all of the tools and things that we have now, this can happen. It could be from a cover standpoint, the design is off, it's dated, it's not relevant to your genre. It could be that you did it yourself, and it looks like you did it yourself with a picture, and you cut and paste, and it looks like you created on Word, and you put a PDF and you put it on Amazon. Or you hired someone to do it and they did exactly what you told them to do, but you had no experience. You did not know what you should have been telling them what to do, what is expected in that genre. And so now you have a look of a book that is just, it's dated, or it's not fitting your book's genre. The typesetting could be off. Okay, it's not professional. It looks like a template of a book that you've seen over and over again because the person that did it, or you did it yourself, it was a book cover template. And now it looks like 20 other books that you've seen. Okay. Or you rushed through the editing process, or you didn't hire a professional editor. And so your book has lots of mistakes and you're just cringing every time you open it. Okay. If you're not proud of these things, here's a solution. You can get it corrected and re-release the book. Okay, don't get stuck with a book that you aren't proud of, especially if your heart is set on helping, providing solution, whatever the answer is. Okay, whatever reason that you wrote the book and you want to be proud of your book, you should be. And sometimes you can be proud in that moment, all right? But a couple of years later, you're like, I don't know anymore. And that happens. I'm looking at one of my books. I'm like, you know what? It's time for a cover refresh. Okay. So that's an easy fix. Okay. That's an easy fix, but you should be proud of your book. Okay. Another reason authors are not promoting their book is because they do not have marketing materials worthy of promotion. Okay. When I created my publishing packages for my authors, every single one has marketing materials attached. It is a must. It is a necessary component to publishing and marketing. Okay, you need to have multiple photos and images of your books, mock-ups, still images, lifestyle images, so people can see your books on bookshelves or on a table or being used in a classroom or a children reading the book. Okay, you should have multiple images, multiple mock-ups. Okay, you don't have any author branding, so you got to book mock-up, but no one knows you. No one knows you wrote it. No one can put a face to the name, or no one can put a name and face to the book. Okay, if you don't have these things, if you don't have a landing page for your book where people can learn about you who don't know you, okay, can learn about you as an author. They can learn about the book, have some images of the book, some quotes, all right? If you don't have anything to market, if you don't have anything to promote, you're not going to be able to do a great job promoting your book. You need marketing assets, okay? And if you don't have these things, invest, hire, Fiverr, Canva, great places to do these things, okay? Where you can even put your book's cover in a mock-up that they have and create great little images, okay? You should have a slew of different images, postcards, banners, all of those things to market online and offline. Okay, if you don't have any tools, you won't be able to market. All right, next is you didn't have a promotional or don't have a promotional or a marketing plan or a business plan that went beyond your published date. Okay, major. Most people only can find their way through publishing, and then that's it. They don't have a plan for after their published date. They may have a launch plan, and then they don't have anything after that. And so sales die off. So you may get 150, 250 sales during launch, and they've died off because you don't have a plan beyond that launch. Okay, if you don't have a plan beyond launch, you're not going to get any book sales. I tell my students at my office all the time, if you do not have a marketing plan, you do not have a plan for book income. No plan, no income. Okay? You need a plan. You need a plan. And I always recommend to have an annual plan, and don't get bogged down by these terms. Just have a plan and a goal to reach your audience. And it doesn't mean that you have to do something every single month. You can break it down by quarter and have a focus for each quarter. All right, and then you can go after a different target, okay, for each quarter. You can use social media in this quarter. Maybe you do events and local events in this quarter. Maybe you go after this particular segment of your audience in this quarter, okay? And year one will look different than year two. If you want sales, if you want to generate book income, you have to have a plan to do that. So you have to have a year two plan, okay? And it should be evolving. It should be, you should be learning from your mistakes, learning how to do an ad maybe in year two versus year one. Okay, there's so many things that continue to evolve. Maybe, the first year was about Facebook. Now it's about, the tick of the talk, the snap of the chat, whatever it is, okay? Maybe you can command a new an audience by using a different tool, okay? You have to get out there. You have to have a plan that works with your audience, that works with your book, and that works with your lifestyle. I am very clear on that. And it has to be authentically you. It has to be your voice. If you're not a TikToker, then don't tick or talk. Okay, I don't like TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, but I'll get on Instagram. Okay, I'll create a reel. I know it's probably a reel and a TikTok is probably the same thing, but listen, I'm just not over there yet. Okay. All right, so you got to do what feels great, but you just got to do something. Okay, be authentically you. All right, another reason why you're not promoting your book is because book sales were lower than you expected. And sadly, this is a repetitive cycle, okay? Because if the sales weren't as you expected, then discouragement sets in. And once discouragement sets in, then self sabotaging behavior comes right on with it, okay? What do I mean? Sales are not there. No one's buying my book. I feel bad because no one's buying my book. My book sales, no one's buying them. Well, I'm not going to do anything. Why am I sounding this way? I don't know. Okay, that's what discouragement sounds like. All right, and so because you're not getting the sales that you want, you won't do anything. You that self-doubt comes in. I knew my book wasn't great. I knew I shouldn't have done this. I knew, self-sabotaging thoughts come in, and now the behavior follows because now you just, you're not promoting it. You're not talking about it. You're not doing anything to reach your readers. You're not doing anything to promote it in the circles that your book is available. Okay? When you don't see the sales and you don't see a result of maybe some work that went into it, and you don't see that, you'll get discouraged and you'll stop. The trick here is finding what you did wrong, and correcting it. All right, so maybe and we're going to hit on some of these things later, so I won't get into why you don't have sales, because you should be hearing some reasons why and figuring out what works for you. But if you know that you had a hard time communicating your book's values, you know what you need to do better. You need to find those people that know how to do that. Get in a workshop or getting a class. Wherever you are deficient in, I'm a firm believer in just isolating that and tackling that one issue. Do one thing at a time well, okay? Don't remain defeated because you don't have the sales that you want to. Because people are selling books, okay? They're doing it every day. So you can too. Figure out what you're doing wrong. Figure out if it's the book or if it's your promotion. Okay, if you need to fix your book, fix your book. If you know you don't have a plan, get a plan. If you don't know what's included in that plan, get help. Okay? All right, next. You don't have a grasp on your target audience. I was trying not to get ahead of myself on that previous one, because this is major. And the reason why a lot of authors are not promoting their book is because they never had a strong grasp on their writing audience. They just had this idea, I want to write a book, and I'm going to write this book, and it's going to be about this. And they didn't have an audience to target. Okay, it was just like, yeah, everyone can benefit from this. Yeah, I'm writing a book, about parenting, and all parents, can read this book. And that's not the case. You really need to have a firm grasp on your target audience, on who you're writing your book for. Okay, and this should be done in the writing process, and often it's not. And so when it's not, then when it comes to marketing, you don't know the language, you don't know the buzzwords, you don't know how to write the copy for your back, for the back of the book text, or your description for Amazon and all of these places. Okay, it is something that when authors come to me, that's one of the first questions I ask. Who is your book for? And if it's too broad, I'm not interested. Because if your focus is so broad, that book is going to be all over the place. Okay, so you really have to narrow down your target audience and then go find them. Go find them. All right, if you wrote a book to encourage parents with autistic children, there's groups, there's hashtags, there's so many ways to find your audience online and offline. You just have to do the work. Okay, you have to do the work. Peel back the onion of who your bankable reader is. Okay, I say a bankable reader. This means someone who is willing to pay you for your book, pay you for your knowledge and your expertise. or the poetic way that you've written your book, okay? Find them, okay? Find them online, find them offline. All right, next, you don't have time to promote your book. That's why you don't. All right. Time isn't on anyone's side. time just never feels like it's on anyone's side, especially when it comes to doing something that you are uncomfortable doing, you've never done before. It's a huge, monumental task. And guess what? Time will never become available when you've made it so big in your mind. It will never become available when you are nervous and afraid about doing it in the first place. Okay? You gotta make it a priority. Time is not the issue. Your priorities are. You must make marketing and promoting your book a priority. Okay? At some point, if it's in your planning point, you make it a priority. Executing, you make it a priority. Okay? Again, I'm not saying you have to be promoting your book every day, every week. That's nausea. Okay? But if you want book sales, you have to look for ways to promote your book authentically and strategically. Okay? And you do that with a plan. Okay? Timing is not the problem. It's making it a priority. It took me years to complete my first book. Why? Because it was not always a priority. I even had to make the publishing part, I had to make myself a client, all right? Especially when it came down to my second and third books. I had to make myself a client, put it on my project management software to make it a priority, okay? If it's not a priority, it's not gonna get done. It's not gonna get done. All right, 9th reason. You don't understand the business of being a published author. Again, this is quite common. It is quite common. Most people don't. Most people don't. And it's the number one reason why self-published authors only sell 150 to 200 books per lifetime. Per lifetime. Okay? Publishing a book is a business. It's a business. It's an investment. Okay? And it's an investment of time. It's an investment of resources. It's an investment of tears and sweat. Okay, you must invest. Okay, if you're not willing to invest in your book, time, resources, you will not get the sales that you want. You will not be able to make the impact that you want. You wrote the book for a reason. You wanted to impact someone else's life. Okay? That should be the purpose behind wanting to write and publish a book, at least for me. Okay? If money was your focus and you're not making the money, then you gotta address all these other things. Okay? But you gotta understand your role as an entrepreneur. That's why we've coined the term authorpreneur. Okay, if you decide to self-publish, you've decided to become an entrepreneur. You have, whether you like it or not. Okay, so you must understand that role and all of the facets of publishing that falls under there. Channels of distribution, sales, promotions, marketing, branding, PR, okay, systems and payment systems, all of these things. If you don't know, you're not going to have the infrastructure to have a growing and healthy book business, because that's what it is. It is a book business, and it is a role that you must want to take, which leads me to my last point. You're not getting the sales that you want. You're not promoting your book because you don't want to invest the time to market or promote. You just don't want to do it. You've seen it and you're not interested. Too much work. Okay, too much work. All right. It's just outside of your comfort zone. It's just outside of your comfort zone. I get it. All right. It's not what you thought it was. You rather someone else, do the promotion and things like that. Hey, guess what? You may not be ready to invest in those next steps. It's the truth. Okay, here's the thing, no one can make you. I never encourage anybody to write a book that they don't want to market and they don't want to promote. If I always look to the end, if I cannot see that book on the bookshelves, if I cannot see it in the marketplace, I am not going to encourage you to write. Okay? Because you have to have the, publishing is a marathon. It is not a sprint. And you're going to have some teeth, and you're going to have to, gnaw your way through the process. Okay? But there is a light at the end of the tunnel when you do. It really, really is. Promotion and marketing is a way to get your book into the hands of the people who you wrote your book for. Okay? And it would be a waste of energy, of time, and resources if you don't promote your book. It just really would be. And you don't get to make that impact. You don't get to make that impact. So, we've just went through 10 really strong reasons why authors don't promote their book and will hide behind their book or will have self-sabotaging behavior. I gave you themes and little tips along the way that will help you solve these things. Wherever you found yourself, okay, get help in that area. If you don't know where to start, get a book audit. A book audit will help identify, is it your book or is it you? Is it you or is it your book? Okay? I hope this was helpful, and continue to tune in for more helpful tips from the Publishing Boss.